Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ginger and Spice podcast. So, drinks first. I'm actually triple parked. I have water, wine, Sauvignon Blanc. I think it's a Sauvignon Blanc.
It's a Savvy, yeah.
It is. And I have a pina colada. Getting caught in the rain. And what have you got?
I am double parked, so I have got myself also a Sauvignon Blanc, and I've also got a mojito.
A mojito!
A mojito, baby!
So, now that the drink's are out of the way, the important stuff.
Yep.
Onto the books. Our theme for the last couple of weeks hasn't really been one that we've actually done before. So it's not been like Why Choose or Daddy or Mafia or anything like that. We actually reserved the last 2 weeks for indie authors and for collaborations with indie authors. If you are part of our socials, we hope that we've managed to bring you some new books that maybe you would never have read before. We certainly have read some books that we, full disclosure, probably would never have read before ourselves. And actually, one of the books that we're going to talk about today has turned out to be not only one of both of our favourite books of this whole year, but it is actually Tia's favourite book of the year so far.
100%.
And this is an indie author. Genuinely, we probably would never have read this.
No.
I cannot believe how good it was. So that one is called The Secret Club. It's actually part of a series, but we'll get into that very shortly. So full disclosure, we did work with all of these authors. We did collaborate with them. We have a great relationship with every single author that we have worked with.
Yeah,
we've stayed friends with them. We're actually going out for dinner with some of these authors. We love them and we love everything that they write. Genuinely, we have had such a good time. We are so lucky. Collaborating with authors, but especially collaborating with indie authors is probably one of our favorite parts of doing social media.
For sure. Because it is just the idea of reading something that A, we wouldn't have picked up before.
Yeah.
And B, it's then coming to you guys and telling you our thoughts on these books. Because most of the time when we read them, they're fucking amazing. Yeah. So the fact that we can then tell you what we think about it and then you'll go out and read it is just, it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's a favourite part of the, for lack of a better term, favourite part of the job for us. And it really doesn't feel like a job. We have a whale of a time. The 3 books that we're going to talk about today in depth, we loved every single one of them. Every single one.
I had a whale of a time. Whale of a time.
There is a few books at the end that we're going to really quick fire go through that we don't really have time to dissect them as well, but we'll quickly run through what those books are, maybe what the tropes are, and our ratings and chili peppers. But for those 3 at the end that we don't have time to do a full breakdown on, there are reviews on our socials. So on our Instagram and TikTok, you can see reviews for them on there. I mean, they are 2-3 minutes long, not as long as it would be here, but you can still find them there. They're still worth a watch and they're still worth a read. Absolutely. We're not including them because we didn't like them. We just don't have the time. So we had to kind of pick 3 that we really did want to dissect today. And these are the 3. One of them we want to dissect because it's actually such a different read to anything that we've read before. And that is the Tripoli Duet. The other one we want to dissect, which is The Secret Club, that is because it is one of our favourite reads of the year.
Oh my God.
And Tia's favourite book of the year. So can't wait to talk about that. It was insanely spicy and it was amazing. Cannot stress that enough. Yeah. And then the third one we're going to talk about is Worth Every Moment by Ryder. And if you have been in our socials for a while, you will see that we read Worth Every Risk a little while ago. Now, technically, that is book 3 in the series. They are interconnected standalones. And we did book 3, then book 4. We haven't actually read book 1 and 2. No. However, book 3, Worth Every Risk, and this one, Worth Every Moment, which is book 4, they were both high rated.
So
for us.
Good.
We don't read that much fluffy books, if you wish, but this has the right balance of fluffy versus spicy versus plot. There was very, very small touches of mafia elements in this.
You know, when it's just not. It's not all lovey-dovey and there are some issues and you've really got to get to the nitty-gritty of each of their situations, and I like that in a book.
Yeah, and there was a big heartbreak moment as well, so your emotions were all over the place.
We both cried.
It was not really spicy, but it was spicy. And the spice was delicious as well. So yeah, we did both cry and we loved it. And then the other 3, we will dissect them as well. But like I said, the reviews for them are on social media. So what do you want to start with?
Should we start with Worth Every Moment?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes, my dear, we can. Oh, la-di-da. Should we start with Worth Every Moment?
What? Like the first one we read, Worth Every Risk. This one was equally as amazing.
Yeah.
A different storyline. He's still one of the brothers. And it just, I don't know. I don't really think it went in a direction that I thought it was going to go into. And I did spend a lot of the time really angry. Like, we'll get into why we was angry in shortly. But at the same time, I was just so, like, in love with them as characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, both of them.
And I laughed at some points, and
I belly laughed at some points.
And,
yeah.
oh my God, I loved it. Okay, so we have got the Hawkston brothers, and they are billionaires. So their dad owns a company that owns like a chain of hotels, and they all do different roles within the company, but like high up ones. So, you know, like finance director and all that sort of shenanigans. Yeah. So the one that we read before was Worth Every Risk, which was Matt, and he got together with Aries, and he was single dad, and she was the nanny, and it was all very sexy.
I just want to say on that book, I fucking love that book. Like, I still think about it to this day. I knew. So I started reading, not this book, but Worth Every Risk. I started reading that when I think I was in Norway, and it was an ARC read.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in like the little bar area. There was a fire on. It was dark outside. There was snow everywhere. It was lit up just on the outside, and it was so peaceful and amazing. And I remember starting this book, having no idea what it was like. And I remember I got to about page 6, and I just knew. Aries, the FMC, her humour and her personality were so obvious from the first page. Yeah. And I remember texting you saying, this is going to be really fucking good. I just know, I'm already locked in. And no joke, I was literally about 6 pages in. It was so fucking good.
It was so good.
So when I went into this one, I was literally like, I really hope I get the same kind of feelings. And honestly, it didn't let me down. I gave 5 stars to Worth Every Risk, which was book 3. And this honestly just like really did live up.
That was the 6 stars.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. It was a 6-star read for me, actually, yeah. I had such a fucking good time.
Yeah, amazing. So in this one, so we have got Seb and we have got Erica. So Erica is like a fashion entrepreneur, but she's also a model, but she's all about like purity. So purity is her brand. And her mum is such a fucking bitch. Basically controls her money, doesn't let her eat what she wants, like just prevents her from doing all the fun shit in life. Seb, however, is her best friend, but Seb's a playboy. He's the guy that goes out and like stumbles out of a nightclub with 5 girls around him, and he's like gets all drunk, snaps, and they end up in the papers. Like, he's that guy. He's always kind of liked her, and she's like, no, I can't go out with you. You know, my brand, I'm just pure and all this stuff. However, because she wants to go into movies and start doing films and stuff, she needs to kind of sex her way up. So between them, they decide that they're going to fake date each other, and he's going to sort of build her up to be like this sexy goddess that's going to go into films. Also, the issue with Seb is that his dad is also a fucking asshole. He is trying to marry Seb off to someone else for like a business deal. But Seb doesn't want to marry someone else. He wants to get with Erica.
He does. Seb and Erica have been friends for like 5 years. And the book opens with Seb on her sofa after a party. He wakes up in the morning and he's just like, from the get-go, utterly obsessed with her. Yeah. Like, he's just besotted with her. He doesn't really tell her. Like, he knows that her brand is all about being pure. Like, she's still a virgin and she's very elegant. So his brand and her brand don't really fit together, so he just doesn't really push it. However, he does kind of make like jokes, not jokes, about like, you know, them sleeping together or taking her out on a date or saying that he loves her, like all that kind of stuff. Like, he does make like typical little kind of like man jokes. So for like 5 years, they just end up like best friends. And he's sort of in a position where he's like, I'll just take anything I can get at this point, so I'll just stay friends with her. And, you know, they never pursue anything further, and then insert fake dating, and things do obviously start to progress. And there's this book that she's reading, it's turning into a film, and she really wants the part in the film, but the part in this book is quite saucy because it's a spicy book, and everyone's sort of like, well, in the papers and everything, because she's a big famous model, everyone's like, oh, she's not sexy enough, like at all. So she's literally trying to sex herself up, literally. So with the addition of the sexual tension and her trying to sex herself up, and then obviously them fake dating, plus Seb's already there feelings, just made for a whale of a time.
It was a whale of a time as well. So after they decide to fake date, she's like, let's go and do a photo shoot together, me and you, just so that we can prove to everyone that we're a couple now. And oh my God, that was
one of the hottest scenes. Nothing even happens. It was one of the hottest scenes I've ever read. It was
Stop with your words.
It was absolutely insane. So they go, and there's a photographer there. And obviously there's, you know, like makeup people and stylists and all that kind of stuff. So she comes out and she's in her underwear, literally, and a pair of heels. And he's like, Seb's obviously sort of like hanging around. And then she comes out and he's like, fucking hell, jeez, how am I supposed to like keep my cool now? So the photographer's like, right, Seb, you sit down. And then Erica like straddles his lap, and Seb's obviously like, oh, sweating, like keep my cool, think about anything other than the fact that she's on my lap straddling it in her underwear and heels. And it is really funny as well, listening to him in his head, because he's trying so hard not to like get hard. Then she's like, she really goes for it, like she just goes into like model mode. The photographer's like, come on, we need more sauce, it needs to be spicier. So she's like slipping her hands like into his shirt, into his chest, on his chest. She's like leaning back, throwing her hair back, and then she starts like grinding on him, and he's like, oh fucking hell, oh bloody hell, here we go. And then eventually he takes his top off, doesn't he, at one point? They stand up. So they take his jeans off as well. And then he's in his boxers, isn't he? Yeah.
And then, like, it gets to a point where it's so fucking heightened, he turns around and tells everyone to get out. And then the photographer is like, oh no, we need to carry on. And he's like, I will give you 10 grand to get out of here right now. Like, because obviously he's like rock solid, ready to do bits.
Yeah.
I mean, she won't do bits because
the photographer tells them to kiss, doesn't he? Yeah. So they kiss, and she's obviously like rocking in on him and grinding on him, and Seb literally just turns around and goes, everybody out now. Yeah. I will literally give you £10,000 to get out this fucking room right now. Yeah. So everyone clears out the room, and then he turns to her and he says something like, tell me it's not just me. And she's like, it's not just you. But then she's like, she switches and she's like, oh shit, what am I doing? And then she's like, oh, actually, I was just in the moment. I was just acting. It
crushed my heart.
Yeah, I know.
It really did crush my
Oh,
heart.
I felt for him. But he was a right silly sausage, not telling her what was going on behind the scenes.
With the whole arranged marriage situation, we saw from the beginning all of that progressing. He knew from the beginning all of that was progressing. He was trying to get his way out of it with his dad and stuff like that. And it just blew up.
Bad.
Very badly.
Yeah.
Like, as in, him and Erica got together and then it blew up.
It blew up, yeah. It really, really did go bad.
Yeah.
So we won't spoil it, but there was a really emotional, heartbreaking scene at one point, and there was a beach, and I could just picture it in my head, like as if it was a movie, and it was really dramatic, and they were just shouting at each other on the beach, and it was so emotionally intense and emotionally driven. And she did, and I said this in our review, I think as well, but she had this, like, if you're a woman, which you probably are listening to this, you know that heartbreaking scream. Like, it's such a different scream to any other scream you will scream in your life.
Like, it comes from deep within. Like, there's no other
wail, isn't it?
There's no other way to explain how far deep that comes within you, like from within your soul.
Yeah,
like,
and Ray Ryder conveyed that scream so well. Like, I could hear it. I was sobbing my eyes out. It was heartbreaking for them both in that specific scene. I'm not going to. We're obviously not going to spoil it and tell you like what happens and stuff. I mean, the book is a happily ever after, so everything is right in the end. But boy, fucking hell, do you go through a journey to get there.
And just the parents being dicks the whole way through.
That was really intense.
Outside of these two trying to be together and not trying to be together, like Seb obviously trying to be with her, but her being like, no, like, it's not a thing. We're not a thing. You're a playboy. Like, outside of that, then you had her mum being an absolute asshole to her. Then you had the dad that was like threatening Seb to nearly send him to prison.
Yeah, God, I forgot about that. Bloody, that was so awful.
Oh my
God. There were
God.
really some darker, like very just touching on some quite dark elements in this. There really was. Like, there was just that touch of the mafia with the person he was arranged to be in a marriage with. And then there was obviously his dad, like, literally blackmailing him with some really dark stuff that he didn't do. Really, it was all fake, but it was really dark. And I was like, whoa, that's intense.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. But it was so good. We both fucking loved this. So I think we should do our ratings and chili peppers. And then we can talk about maybe the gallery scene.
Definitely.
And the scene when he crawls to her.
Yeah, it's also very good.
That was the first time she'd done it as well, wasn't it? Yeah. That was her losing her V-plates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up to that point, she'd never seen a real pee-pee before.
No, she was lying about it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, they were really funny.
Oh,
Ray
it was
Ryder
just
is
so good.
such a comedic writer as
Yeah.
well. She really does bring humor, but it's not forced. It just feels natural. So you're kind of like laughing along. There was a really good scene where they're all on a girls' trip and they're asking, so they're obviously fake dating, but everyone thinks it's real. And they're asking her about like Seb's pee-pee because the papers had said that he was pierced.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh my God, is he pierced? He's not pierced. And obviously because they're fake dating, she didn't fucking know. So she had to pretend. And she was like, yeah, he's pierced. Yeah, he's pierced. And he's not
He's
pierced.
not. She's like, yeah, he's got a Jake. She didn't even know what a Jacob's ladder was. But they were like, is it a, what was it?
Oh, what's it called when it's at the end? I want to say St. Andrew's Cross. I think it actually is called St. Andrew's Cross.
Andrews.
But when it's just one bar, it's called something else.
So it was like, is it this or is it a Jacob's ladder? And she was like, oh, it's a Jacob's ladder.
Not having a clue
what that meant at all. So when he got his pee-pee out, I mean, she still didn't really understand whether he did or not.
Yeah. And he was like, nope, it's definitely not
definitely
pierced.
don't have one, no.
Yeah. Okay, shall we do our ratings for this? Then we can come back to
Absolutely.
our favourite scenes. Okay. What did you give this stars?
Oh, 5.
Yeah, I also gave it a 5.
Yep.
And what did you give it? Chili peppers?
The chalets! I gave it a 3.
I put 2.5 to 3 in here, but I think in our review on socials, I did give it a full 3.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of moments that you didn't realise were spicy moments, because obviously she was a virgin, and it did take them a little while to get to the point where they did eventually do something. But I mean, once they did, she learnt a lot.
Yeah.
She learnt a lot in a quick time.
The spicy moment that we'll talk about right now, before they even did anything, and it was quite early on in the book, was in a gallery. So do you want to talk us through that scene? Because I know you loved it.
I know. I was obsessed with this scene. They're at a gallery and Seb had taken a different date so that he can make Erica jealous. However, whilst he was there, he saw Erica and he was like, I can't do this. I can't be with this other girl. Like, I need to tell Erica that I really want to be with her. So he takes Erica away, and upstairs there's like an exhibition of one of Erica's first ever like modelling situations. So he takes her upstairs to go and show her, and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then out of nowhere, 2 people come in, man and a woman, come in and they're like kissing, and it all gets very heated. So Seb and Erica then sort of hide behind like some chairs, and they're watching these 2 people who are obviously about to have sexy time, and it gets really fucking hot. And Erica's like getting all like flustered, and then she's like, touch me. And he's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, just touch me. So he like kind of strokes up her thigh, all very saucily. And then, did they kiss?
He gets his mouth on her. I don't think they did kiss.
He goes down
on her. Did he like brush his mouth against her neck or something? I can't remember. I don't know if they kissed.
So,
I can't remember.
Anyway, so he's stroking up the thigh, and they're all very close, and she's watching the people doing it, and then she's like panting, and it's all just very heated. And then he says, I want to taste you. And she looks at him, and then she goes,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay. So he like sort of pushes her back, opens her up, and then just goes down on her, and he's really lapping it up, and she's getting all heated, and she can hear the other 2 having sex, and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then she's like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? Because I'm meant to be pure. This life isn't me. And he's a fucking playboy. Like, if people find out that we're doing this, they're going to be like, no, and it's going to ruin my career. And she basically absolutely loses her shit. She like sort of pushes him off, legs it out of there, and they end up having a massive fucking argument. But that scene with them 2 doing those bits whilst 2 people are having sex was so hot. So hot.
It was such a good scene. And it wasn't even like really descriptive of the other people in the room. You were just led to believe, like you were just told you can hear the sounds of X, Y, and Z. There wasn't like descriptive words of you can see his going in her or anything like that. It was just the way she wrote the scene as well, like to be so tension filled without actually it being overly graphic. Because when you think back to it, not that much happened, but oh my God, was it hot? It was insane.
Jesus Christ, I was hot. Especially because she's a virgin as well.
Yeah.
So for her to turn around to him and be like, I want you to touch me, was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah. So the reason that came about where she kind of like said, I want you to touch me, is because he had previously admitted to her that he had been in a room with one of her friends and he had sat in a chair. They all stumbled into the room when he was in the chair, and he was so drunk that he couldn't like get himself up. So he ended up just staying in the chair while these people, her friend and somebody else, got it on in front of him. And, you know, he had said to her, like, it's really hot to watch other people. And she was like, you know, I don't know about that. And was kind of like being a bit judgy to him about it. And then obviously this situation happened in the gallery, and then she was getting all heated. And then she was like, she was remembering about him saying that to her about how it can be really hot watching other people. So then she was like, oh my God, no, I need you to touch me. Like, this is hot.
Oh God, it was sexy.
Yeah. And the other scene I'd like to talk about is the crawl to me scene. Show me how you please yourself scene. All in the same one. Her losing her replates scene. Her seeing a pee-pee for the first time scene.
Everything happened in this one scene. They did every single base possible in this one scene.
Yeah.
But he really let her take control. And I think that was like the most delightful thing about it.
Yeah.
Is that she really stepped up, even though she was just about to, like, because most people would be like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm prepared for this. I'm about to lose my replates kind of situation. Yeah. Whereas she was like, you crawl to me, you come here, you touch me there. And I was like,
yep.
Go get it, Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, she really did come onto her own in this scene. And the first thing she said to him was to show me how you please yourself. Show me how you do it. Show me how you please yourself.
So I did just take this snippet from the book because this is when she first gives him a blowjob. And she doesn't know what she's doing. So, but this, I ruffled in this scene because I thought it was hilarious. So I'm not gonna do the voices, but just I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. I'll set the scene. They're in the hotel room and she is half naked with him on the bed. She smiles, but it fades as the shy
Ooh, as the shite.
Yeah. This is the issue, right? Is that I don't even understand my own writing. Like my writing, I write like a doctor. Oh, not a doctor. Okay. She smiles, but it fades as a shy expression creeps into her gaze. Do you like my mouth too? I'm wary. She's up to something. Yes. My lips? Yep. She arches a brow. Would you like them on your cock? Boom! I'm rock solid. Is the Pope Catholic? I lie on my back and she shifts onto all fours, kneeling between my legs. I don't know what I'm doing, she admits, dipping down to lick the tip, which jerks like it wants to high-five her tongue. I've never done this. You could bite my dick off and I'd still enjoy it. I just had a whale of a time because I just thought, oh, you two are just so cute.
Yeah, considering he's a playboy as well, like he's obviously very experienced and she's not experienced at all, but his patience with her
so good.
He was just so sweet. He really was. And you could kind of tell from the beginning that like the playboy persona was just exactly that. It was a persona.
Yeah.
It was all a facade. Whilst he couldn't have the one woman he actually did want.
Oh my God, I could actually read this again.
Yeah, no, man.
Now that we're talking about them. I really enjoyed them as characters so fucking much. Because considering the amount of shit that both of them went through, they were top tier characters.
I agree. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I agree. I really want to read books 1 and 2 now.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't read them, so I'm
to.
hoping we're going to read them soon, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love this. And if you're into like billionaire romances that are spicy, obviously, you need to get on this series, The Hawkston Billionaires by Ray Ryder. Honestly, it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I will say one last comment before we go is this is a Friends to Lovers. Now, it wasn't that long ago we read a cowboy romance and it was Friends to Lovers. And I went into it thinking, fuck it, I just know this Friends to Lovers is going to be way too fluffy for me. And I had a whale of time in that cowboy romance, and I had a whale of time in this Friends to Lovers, and I've come to realise that providing it's done well, I think Friends to Lovers really is, because I know it's one of those tropes that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah.
But I like enemies to lovers, and I like friends to lovers, and I like rivals to lovers.
Yeah, for sure.
I really enjoy Friends to Lovers.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I ever would enjoy that. I always thought Friends to Lovers would be too fluffy for me. And actually, everyone I've read so far I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think it's as long as there's like some sort of storyline or like a decent plot that goes along with it, and it's not just like, oh, we're friends. Oh, let's throw a one bed trope in there and then let's make them turn into lovers.
That's it. Yeah.
Then that's shit. But you know, like as long as there's a bit of meat to it.
Yeah.
then
which there is.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay, should we move on to the next one?
Absolutely.
Before we move on, the ages of the characters in this, Seb is 30 and Erica is 25. So we've got some nice older characters in this, which on our socials a lot of people were calling out for. We did a video which was like when the main characters are over the age of 25. And a lot of people really did appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just makes a nice change sometimes to have like actual adults. So yeah, that's another positive from that one.
In fact,
so what
I think they're
all of these today they're all older.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah, they're all older characters.
Look at us listening to what you want.
Yeah. So this book is called Ravens, a Tripoli Duet. Now I actually thought this was Tripoli until I listened to the audiobook.
Tripoli.
And it is Tripoli.
Yeah. I think I was saying Tripoli.
This is by R.M. McDonald. So I'm going to do the rundown for this one. And I'm just going to let it roll off the tongue and see what happens. So this book is a little bit different to anything that we've kind of read before. I would say the only other book that this felt even remotely similar to was Darling Wildfire.
Yeah.
Minus the kind of heavier themes in Darling Wildfire. It was still on that sort of like military kind of vibe. And I'll tell you why. So she, our main character, Tripoli, is part of a secret service agency called the Ravens. So she is a raven. Now, Tripoli is very, very talented, and to fly under the radar, she basically is at the whim of her clients. So she'll go to meet a client, whether it's for a night or a couple of days or an afternoon, whatever, and she basically becomes whatever they need her to be. So these will be like high-flying clients. These will be like really big businessmen, politicians, etc., etc. And while she's there with these clients, she might have to be a distraction. So she might walk into a room and interrupt a business meeting and act as a distraction for them. She might be their sister, she might be a date to an event, or she could be acting as their wife. Now, whilst she's doing these things, she is collecting intel. So she'll be listening into their conversations, hearing what they're saying, and collecting all that information and putting it in her little brain for use later on, because she's a Secret Service agent. So these men obviously don't know how intelligent she is, or how high up in, this agency she is, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she's, to them, a glorified hooker.
Yeah.
Is as far as the clients are concerned. So she's sitting in a hotel room. She's been given her next client. She's waiting for him to turn up. She's obsessively looking over at all the exit points in the room. She's going over the route that she took to her hotel room, like where are the exit points in the hotel. She couldn't quite remember all of them, but she remembered them all in the hotel room. So she's like, that exit's there, that exit's there. If that happens, I can go that way, blah, blah, blah. Where's my guns? Where's my weapons? Like, is everything in place? Obsessively going over it. So she's waiting. She's anxious. The door goes on the hotel room, beep, beep for the card, and in strolls this hunk of a man. The most gorgeous man she's ever laid her fucking eyes on walks into this room, and she's like, holy shitballs.
Yeah.
Fuck me sideways.
I mean, fuck me though.
Literally. So he comes into the room, and it's obvious that there is this like instant attraction between the two of them. So they have a little bit of a flirt. He slips a ring on her finger. He wants her to be his wife for the night. They go down for dinner. They're sitting down there, and at this point it hasn't really become obvious. She did ask him at one point, what do you need of me, blah blah blah, and it wasn't really answered, so apart from the fact that she has to act as his wife. So they go down for dinner, and I will say, even in these scenes, but the whole way through the book, you are left with this constant feeling of something's not right here. What's going on here then? I feel like I don't have all the information. Something weird is happening. So even in this scenes now at the start, they're sitting down, they're having dinner, they're flirting, and she's sort of like, is this real? Like, or is this just part of the game? Because obviously we've got to act in front of other people as if we're married.
But it was really weird because it sort of came out of nowhere. Like, obviously we knew that they had to be acting like they were married, but it was kind of like, this is a bit too real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like the attraction and the flirting was like instant, and it was so like natural.
Yeah.
As if it was just like you were meeting someone that you already knew and were attracted to. So the whole thing was just like really quite bizarre. He says some panty dropping things when they're at dinner. So they're sitting down at the table, and he orders her drink for her. He orders her a wine. So she gets the wine, then she goes to drink it, and she's like, I actually prefer gin. And he turns to her, he says, yes, well, I prefer the taste of wine. And when I tell you, I nearly fell through the fucking floor. So he's just like asserting dominance straight from the get-go, and I was like, holy shit, sir.
Yes.
And then her internal dialogue was literally like, holy shit, oh my god, this man is literally telling me how this night is going to go, or how he thinks it's going to go. And then she turns to him and she says something like, she's trying to divert the conversation back to like normal-ish stuff. And she goes, tell me something real about yourself. He goes, I'm going to be peeling you out of that dress in about 45 minutes. And I was like, I'm done.
I was 100% down. I was like, yeah, okay.
I was like, I've just met you.
Fine.
I literally met you 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yeah, sure.
As meet cutes go,
that was great.
Big yes.
So anyway, they go back to the room. They do the deed. It's all very heated. It's all very sexy. It's very, very sexy, actually. It's very spicy. And then he's sitting in a towel opposite her. She's sitting on the bed, and he's sitting on this chair opposite her by the desk. And he goes, we need to have a serious conversation. And I was like, oh shit, where's this going to go? That ominous feeling that had sat with you the whole way through was now like, oh, here we go. Here we fucking go. And then in that moment, she's like, I've just realised I'm trapped. I'm on the bed. I've let my guard down. I don't know where my weapons are, and I can't get to the exit point. He's got me trapped either way. Yeah. And no matter what way I go, he's going to get there before me. So she was like, I'm fucked. I'm just going to have to stay here. And I won't tell you what he says, but this is the moment where it really goes west. Like, he drops a bombshell on her, and basically they both end up on the run together. And it's about their journey on the run together. He's got his own sort of like hidden agendas, plus agendas that he does make obvious as well. There's secrets, there's double crossing.
Oh my god, the secrets!
Insane. And then he introduces her to like his team of like his friends, and then there's a whole like camping trip which has this real ominous feeling like just lurking over it constantly as well.
Hell.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, seriously, what is even happening? Like, something's not right here. Something really is not right. She's sending these like random text messages to random numbers, and it's literally, she's just sending like a random jumble of numbers to this random phone number like every couple of days or whatever, and people pick up on it, and you don't know why she's doing it either.
It's actually wild. The more I'm thinking about it, the wilder it is. Like, at the time when I was reading it, there was like bombshell after bombshell. At one section there was like 3 things that happened.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, because it really does open up for like the next book.
Oh god, yeah.
And honestly, I it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. I've never read anything like it.
So we have obviously the female main character and the male main character, which is Tripoli and then York. Now, York is British, so you've got those 2 main characters. However, towards the end, you do get the introduction, spoiler not spoiler, of another main character. Well, another male main character, let's say. And that is a true enemies to lovers situation, and we have a running and being chased in the woods and being rutted against a fucking tree.
It was a proper
by
hate
the new
fuck.
MMC.
Like,
oh my god,
real hate fuck.
Proper.
Fuck me, it was
delicious. So aggressive. Like, they were rolling on the floor, hitting each other. It was just,
it was perfection. So because it's my favorite scene, because I fucking loved it. There was a point in it where, so he kept saying, say yes to me, like while he was chasing her, and she was like trying not to say it, and then he had her up against this tree and she was like, yes, and then they kind of like attacked each other, and he was like basically saying that she's a whore and like a lady of the night.
Yep.
And she said, well, York did break me in because at least he knows what he's doing in the sack. And he just fucking hate fucked her because she said that, and it was just.
And then she'd hurt her ankle, so she couldn't quite make it back in. So he like grabbed her like fireman style, chucked her over his shoulder, brought her back in. And at the time, York was injured and he was in this house as well. And so they go back in, and then like all the other people are like in the house, and they're just like,
what's going on here?
I see. And it was just, when they walked back in and York was there, I was like, oh my god, oh no. Yeah. I literally did not know how that was going to go. And when I tell you, I cannot stress this, and I cannot fucking stress this now. When I tell you I did not expect the turn of events that turned, I did not expect it.
Within the next literal 2 minutes.
Insane. Insane. I audibly gasped and shot up from my chair.
So that after So if you're going to read this, once you get to that scene, this is when it all fucking kicks off. And it's like maybe like 10 pages of just shit going down.
Yeah.
Like,
you find out people aren't who they said they are, and they're capable of so much more than you thought. And then I can't even say any more than that without giving it away. But honestly, this was such a fun read for me because it was different. And it was sort of like when we read Darling Wildfire, it was kind of like military-esque and it was like spicy COD. And we were like, I've never read anything like this before. And that's how I felt reading this. It was like, I've never read anything like this before. It is like Spicy Spies, but with just like, I don't know, weird twists. It was so good. So if you're looking for something that's like different but still spicy, you still get those sort of like enemies to lovers tropes, chasing in the woods, degradation,
all of it.
Still got, and we had like James Bond-esque style showdowns where they go to like this building and they've all got like thingies in their ears and they're all kind of like talking to each other, like military style operation. It was just so fucking good.
It was so fucking good.
I had such a good time.
I had a whale of a time. The only thing that I will say about this was, and I have seen that a few people have said the same thing, for about 70% of it, there's so much going on that you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I do get that.
Like, there's just, it's all a lot. But it does all come together at the end. Like, the scenes that we're talking about, it all starts to make fucking sense. But fuck me, was it a ride? It was a ride.
Yeah, it was. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do stars and chili peppers.
Absolutely.
Okay, stars, what did you give it?
I gave it 4.5.
I also gave it 4.5. And chili peppers?
The chalet. I gave it a 3.
I also gave it a 3. I was shooketh at the end of this. And I can't wait to go into the next one.
Yeah.
So obviously it ends on a cliffhanger. So just be mindful of that. I think that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about in that one?
No, we spoke about Will. Was his name Will?
William the Texan.
Yes,
he was
please.
the additional one. So you've got Tripoli, York, and then William the Texan, who's the one that chased her in the woods. Okay, should we move on? Okay, strap in, guys. Tia's going to be talking a lot.
I've got so much to say.
So I just want to show the camera that for the Secret Club, the note at the top of my book, I don't know if you can see that, I'll lean in, says, wow.
Yeah.
And a circle
fucking
around it.
Impeccable book.
I went into
impeccable scenes. Just blew my fucking socks off.
I went into this blind. Did you go into this blind? Yeah. I had no idea. I didn't even read the blurb. I did not know what this is about at all.
So when the author originally sent it to us, it wasn't actually that long before we started reading it. And I sort of like had a little look, like I didn't fully read what it was about, but there was some themes on there and she had originally said, I think you will really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. Yeah, I'm in. And I think we were already following her without realising that it was her that we were messaging. Yeah. So I'd seen already that some people had posted about her books and I was like, well, they look really great. So I was like, well, let's do it. Let's strap in. And fucking hell am I glad we did. Oh my God. Like I'm on book 2 now and I can't get enough. I physically can't get enough.
Yeah. Honestly wish that this would come across more people's radar, like just straight off the bat, because it's just more people need to know about it.
Yeah. Hopefully that's what we're here to do, to make you all read it, because fucking hell, I could talk to anyone about this book. Anyone. I've got so much to say.
So if you're not into like full smut, this probably isn't for you. No. If you're more of a 3 chili pepper kind of person, this is like 5-6 chili peppers. So it is like full smut.
Yeah.
There is like the smut is the plot.
Yeah.
But the plot obviously does have its own merits as well. Like there is plot to it, but obviously the smut is involved in the plot, if that makes sense. So only read it if you're comfortable with that. You know, don't go into this and read it off the back of us saying something and then, you know, leave a review that's something like, oh, this was just all smut and there was no plot. Like, yes,
we're literally telling you that right now.
We are telling you that this is all smut, but it's done so well. It's not just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not just like open up the laptop and going on to the hub or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's not just like opening up and it's there straight in your face.
This is classy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's so well written. It's so fucking classy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's up there.
So this is like Secret Diary of a Call Girl, and that is a program on Netflix, and I think it's on Netflix now anyway, and it's Billie Piper as the female lead. And I watched that years ago, LOL. I actually watched it on DVD with a friend, and we finished one series, and then we literally, after every single series, we went back to Tesco, to the supermarket for the Americans, and bought the next series on DVD, and then came back to the house and literally just binge watched it like all night, just stayed up till like 4:00 in the morning watching this series. We loved it. So honestly, this was already going to be up my street because I fucking love that. Now, Secret Diary of a Call Girl, I believe, actually did start out as books, and I believe they are memoirs of a high-class London escort, and it is obviously real events, so it was based on real events. Now, this book is very similar vibes to that. It had the same sort of humor, where it explored the sort of kind of more wilder kinks that could maybe be potentially quite humorous, but then she made them classy in the end.
Fucking classy.
So she explored the humor side of it, but then also made it classy at the same time, and then also made it really saucy and really spicy, so you actually got the feels. And I think a lot of the time with a book that's like 5-6 chili peppers, it's so difficult to keep people engaged and keep people with the feels, because as we all know, one of the reasons we get the feels in books is because of a slow burn or some form of a burn, because you get a build up and you've been waiting for it. The tension's been building. So in a book that's like this, where it's 5-6 chilies, it is difficult to keep people on that edge where they're constantly sort of like in there with the tension.
But I think it's because there's about 7 different scenes in this where the tension starts from the beginning, because she's meeting 7 different people or groups of people and getting to know their kinks and then getting to enjoy their kinks with them. So you get a bit of tension with every single different person she goes to meet.
But even then her husband, even her husband as well. So she's married in this, and that's the difference. It's not like, so we read The Naughty List, or listened to The Naughty List by Jade West recently. I'm not going to get into it now, we'll get into it later. But in that, it's very similar vibes in the sense of she's like a high-end escort, and she's not married in that. And so there's not really a romance part of that until the very end. Whereas this book, she's married and she has a family, she's got kids, and her relationship with her husband, there's even tension with that. Like, it's just so fucking good. But
like, not tension in a bad way, like tension in a really
like good
sexy,
like tension. He was amazing.
Cannot.
Okay, do you want to do a rundown for this?
I'd love to. I'm obsessed. Okay, so again, this is another one of those books where she's actually 35 in this. So her and her husband are 35 years old. And that, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
So we've got Rosie, who is 35. She's married to James and they've got 2 kids together. So their mortgage is actually really quite high. They've both got jobs, but she wants to take on another job so that she can start helping out pay the mortgage off a little bit more. She finds a job. It's at a golf club, and it's like working behind the bar or working in the coffee shop at said golf club. She goes for it. She gets it. There's like a 6-month probation, but they get her to sign an NDA at the beginning, and they give her a false name. So her name is then Roxy. She's like, well, this is fucking weird. What's going on here then? But she rolls with it. Everyone's nice. Everyone's nice to her. So she's like, fuck it. So she's there for the 6 months. Goes all swimmingly. She gets pulled in. She speaks to Sandy, which is her boss. And Sandy says, look, you've passed the 6-month probation. We really like you. Just want to let you know, this is actually a high-end escort agency, basically. And I think you'd be a great fit for it. So you can log in to the portal. You've got green, amber and red. At the moment, you won't get access to red or amber, but go in and have a look at your greens. See what you like. You know, you can get $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Just go and have a look. See if you fancy it. Speak to your husband if you want to. There's a lot of people here that are married and they don't speak to their spouses about it, but it's up to you. And then she's like, oh, do you know what? I could do with the cash, and this sounds quite good. So she goes toddling home to James, and then she's like kind of like twiddling with her fingers because she's wondering how to say it. And she tells him, and he's like, look, I know you've got certain kinks that you like, and I mean, I'm down for it. Just like be honest with me and just tell me what's going on. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. And fuck me, does she do it. She goes for it. And I mean, she does not hold back on these experiences. She throws herself at it to the point where James then ends up branding her because she's having such a great time. And he's kind of like, well, you know, I just want the men to know that you've still got me at home. And she'll go home and she'll fuck James as well. And he's just having a great time and he loves it.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this book. I'm obsessed with this book and the storyline and the people, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start. It was amazing anyway, but when you get to the charity jobs scenes, that's when I was locked in. So I read this book in one sitting, in one night, in one evening. It literally took me, I think it took me about 3.5 hours to read this book. Yeah. I'm actually not even joking. I rattled through it nonstop. Honestly, I was floored. But when it got to the charity job scenes, and I'll talk you through the difference between the green, the amber, and the red / charity jobs in a second. But oh my God, the charity job was a week long, and it was with 8 men who wanted to hold her as a captive and each have their own personal kinks, and they basically all just wanted to explore those with her.
Honestly, after day one of her being there, I was like, I could do this. Yeah. I could easily do this. This is a bit of me.
So the way that the book was laid out, you had like obviously the opening chapters and all that kind of stuff, and then she finds out that this golf club are moonlighting as a escort agency.
So it's actually called Clarendon Playmates. So they don't say that they're an escort agency, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah. And then so she finds out that she takes the job as to be an escort, a playmate, and then the book goes into green jobs. So you've got like part 1, part 2, part 3 in books. It's effectively like that, but you've got green jobs, and then you've got the amber job section, and then you've got the charity job section / red. And I really liked the setup of that. Yeah. So it was like the green jobs, and then you were just exploring her while she was exploring the green jobs. So green jobs are things like, that was me turning the page, if you could hear that.
I loved it.
Get my little notes out. So green jobs are your standard kinks. So you've got bondage, impact play, anal play, breast worship. So all of these are sort of roughly around 2 to 3 hours-ish, and they're all about £2,000 to £3,000 per job. So she takes on anal play and breast worship. And I was honestly, my toes were curling, not really in a good way. I definitely realised that having my tatas tied up
in cable ties
is not my vibe. That was not, and then having clamps put on your nipples, not my vibe. No, thank you, sir. You can keep your £2,000.
So I think it was just like the squash it, like the idea of it being squashed like that, because he was like whipping her to begin with, and I was kind of like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not down for it, but I'd be able to do it. Yeah. But as soon as he got those cable ties out and literally wrapped it around her tits, tied so it was like
they literally started turning blue.
Yeah. And then didn't he get like a cane as well?
I can't. It's literally making my life it makes me feel physically unwell. But it was exploring. It was like the way it was done really classy, but it did make my toes curl when I was reading it. But I was like, this is definitely not my thing. However, I did appreciate that we explored so many different kind of kinks, even if they're not your thing, to the extremities, probably not even actually to the extremities that people in real life go to, but definitely more extreme probably than we've read. Yeah. It felt more akin to real life. So then we've got amber, the amber jobs. Now, this was a new word for me, and, call me uneducated or whatever you want, but I didn't know what sploshing was. Now, I knew that obviously, as we all do, food play in a more layman's term. Okay? I didn't know the actual scientific word for that.
I didn't know it was
sploshing.
No, I didn't know that.
That is a really fucking odd word as well. So the jobs on the amber board were sploshing. It was 3 hours, £4,000. And it's basically eating food from her body, and she eats food from his body and from their areas as well. And actually when she went there, he got them both in this like empty paddling pool to contain the mess.
He also inserted a cucumber in her, and then they both shared it.
Oh, yeah.
By inserted, I mean, he absolutely fucked her with it.
Like, not wrapped up or anything either. So when they were eating it, he was talking about tasting her juices, and she could taste her juices on the cucumber.
And then she sat on a cake. He fully made her seat herself on this fucking cake. So it went into her crevices, and he could eat it out.
Yeah. So that happened. And then we had pet play. That was 12 hours, so that was a longer one. That was like an overnight one. That was $15,000.
I did actually enjoy that one. Yeah, that one wasn't that one.
So
tough.
She had to pretend to be a dog, and she had to lick his pee-pee and his balls, and also give him a blowy every time he was eating breakfast. No, She had to suck him off whilst he was eating dinner.
Yeah.
In fact, she had to eat from a bowl on the floor, and she was allowed to pee in the toilet once, but then he took her out and she had to pee in the garden in front of him. That was actually quite intense, that scene. I was like, surely he's not going to make her do it. And he actually did. And she did do it.
She did do it.
She couldn't hold it any longer.
She fucking bossed this, honestly. Yeah. She
went into every single job just like, fuck it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's have it. And then we've got the charity job offer. Now, this is where, so it's not quite the red board. This is like a charity event where the club match the donation, something like that, don't they? They double the offer for the job.
Yeah.
So the club, the agency, if you wish, they double the offer of the job. And then you, as the playmate, donate 20% of what you get to that charity as well. Yeah. So there was a job on the charity board, and it was a red job, as we said earlier, and it was £250,000, £250,000, and it was to be a cat for a week with 8 men who all have different kinks, and she was basically kept naked in a glass box that she couldn't see out of, but they could all see in. She wasn't allowed to dress. She wasn't allowed to shave for 4 days, 8 days.
4 weeks.
4
weeks before she went and did this.
She wasn't allowed to shave.
No.
And I can't lie, the charity job, I had a great time, but when it got to the charity job,
I've never been more
I was
turned
absolutely
on
buzzing off my fucking tits.
I was literally a fucking puddle.
It was insane.
From as soon as she walked in, like, I don't even think anyone had really spoken to her. I think a doctor had walked her in, but he was like one of them. He wasn't like the real doctor, but he was one of them.
He was a doctor.
And I was like, fucking hell, I am hot already. Yeah. No one even touched her. I was like, fuck.
So she gets taken to all of her jobs. She gets picked up in this like fancy ass Beamer, in this BMW. She gets blindfolded by the driver. She gets the same driver every time. He tells her how long it's going to take to get there. It's exact timing. She turns up. She's still got the blindfold on, so she doesn't know how she got there. And then she gets to the front door of this charity job, and then she gets led into the house, into this sort, and she thinks that she's in some kind of like basement-ish area, and then she gets a blindfold taken off, and then she meets the doctor, who's the doctor, that was in air quotations, by the way, and he's in like a white coat, but he's obviously not an actual doctor. So they're all playing their part. We've got 8 men. Let's go through them. We've got the doctor that we've spoken about. We've got the chef / the feeder.
Yeah.
So he likes to feed her and stroke her stomach and other areas while she's eating. So he literally feeds her to the point where she's like, her stomach is swollen and she can't eat anymore.
And I think there was like one point where he put like syrup or something on his junk and then made her suck it off.
Yeah.
That was nice.
So we've got the doctor, we've got the chef / the feeder, we've got the shaver, hence the not being allowed to shave or wax for 4 weeks before she goes.
And you know, I really liked him.
Yeah, me too.
He was
very
sweet.
sensual.
Yeah,
he was very caring.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to go in and shave her. So that was one of the first scenes. And then you've got the voyeur, the watcher, Tom.
Yeah. Very aggressive.
Had his own chair, but he was like the aggressive one. He was like, if you've ever read Credence, he was Caleb.
Yeah.
The mute in the corner.
Yeah.
So he had like his own chair in her room, and when she was being shaved, he was just like sitting there watching, and then he would watch when she was with other people and stuff.
But he would like come and join in sometimes.
Eventually, yeah. And then actually he turned out to be one of my favorites. And so we had Tom, he was the voyeur, and then we had the boyfriends. 2 of them were boyfriends. So what are we on now? We're on 6 men.
So that was Jake and Blake.
Yeah.
Created the throuple.
Yep. So they created a throuple with her, so that the boyfriends, they were delicious. That was the
spanker flogger.
So that the flogger, he liked to spank and flog.
We had Darcy, who liked to come in the middle of the night.
And then we had Darcy, who liked to wait until she was asleep. And then he would come in and do bits. And he was like in stealth mode.
Yeah.
She was like, she'd wake up in the morning and she'd be like all crusty.
She would have like...
Yeah.
Well,
dry, you know what.
Down there.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, how the fuck do I still not know he's doing it? Like, but every morning, she's not even like she saw or anything.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not a deep sleeper.
How is he doing this?
Yeah. So eventually she like forces herself one night, doesn't she, to be like, I'm going to fucking, I'm going to wake
fucking
up.
having you.
And she does one night, she catches him. And I'm so glad she did, because actually the scenes after that were like really, really great.
Really good.
Oh, God. So that was our 8 men.
Honestly.
And I feel like we are semi-spoiling this a little bit, but I just feel like if we didn't explain these things, it wouldn't justify why we love this so much. I just feel like we need to convey why this was so good.
To be fair, like, with books like this, you can't spoil it because it's... Nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happens in these books. Like, these aren't spoilers. These are just us conveying the things that she's gone through. I mean, you're going to have a fucking wicked time when you read this.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it was so good. So, and her husband, James. Let's come back to James on this. So we've explored the kind of jobs that she did, the men that she met. But James, her husband, she goes home to him after every single job. She loves going home to him. He marks her as his before she leaves for a job. And then obviously he eventually sort of like tattoos his mark on her. So everybody knows that she's taken. And he is just, he's all for sharing her. Like, it turns him on. So when she gets home, he is like on the bed now. Literally, get those fucking clothes off. I want you now. He's ready and waiting. And one of my favourite scenes in this book is with James, the husband. So she comes home after a job, she's sleeping, and then she sort of like, she starts to like come to, and she's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And then she just sort of like opens her eyes a little bit, and she can like feel right on her mouth. And then obviously, as you can imagine, his pee-pee is starting to enter her mouth. More like an invitation. He was like asking. He wasn't just shoving it in there.
No, he wasn't aggressive about it.
She came to, and he's got his knees straddling her head, and he's got his pee-pee there. He's ready to go. Yeah. And his eyes basically kind of ask her, is this okay? And she basically opens her mouth and just takes him in. And they have such an amazing time in that moment. Honestly. And I was like, just waking up with him like that, like her husband, who's just been amazing and so understanding of like the whole thing,
situation,
and just rolling with it as well.
The amount of money that she makes from this is fucking insane. Yeah. The fact that he lets her do that to get the money to help them with their future and with their kids and everything like that is amazing. But at the same time, the fact that he lets her do that when he's her husband and gets turned on by it.
No resentment.
That in itself is a turn on. James would be a turn on. Yeah. Massively.
Yeah. The support.
To be that secure in your marriage. To be like, babe, you go and do what you gotta do.
Not even just in your marriage, but to be that secure in your masculinity as well. Yeah. To know that. I totally agree.
But he's hot as shit. Like you can tell she's absolutely smashed out there.
Yeah.
With him.
What a life.
Fucking hell. What a life.
She's got a husband and she's going out and doing all that and getting paid 250 grand. Are you joking me?
Yeah.
Oh, just to rally back round to the 8 men scene. I didn't say this before we finished, but there is a group scene. And it goes fucking off.
And I will be reading that every day for the rest of my life. Fucking hell, it's so good. It was hot as shit.
Oh my god, I could actually read that again as well. We've been so lucky with our books recently. With our author collabs lately, we have been so lucky because they've been amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's do our stars and chilies for this one. What did you give it stars?
Stars, I gave it a 6. It's a 6-star rating.
6-star read.
6-star read.
6-star read.
6-star read.
So I gave this 5, but yeah, I would also happily give it 6 stars as well. But I did give it 5. It was fucking phenomenal.
Jesus Christ!
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
genuinely, she smashed it.
Yeah.
So chili peppers.
The chilies.
I feel like this is really obvious. So 5, but technically 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking relentless.
Double pen on the 6.
So I think it was only probably on about page 3 that James is doing her in the arse.
So I think I have it down here. The first spicy scene is page 14. 14-ish. It was somewhere around page 14.
Wild.
And I was like, whoa, okay there.
No holding back.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that one done. I think we'll both agree on this. But if we could tell you to read just one book from this whole podcast, it would be this one.
Yeah.
The Secret Club.
I do just want to say, because I'm knees deep in the next book and the red page has now fully opened for her. So this scene that she's in, which is the red scene, now I think is going to get pretty dark. And I don't know how she's going to deal with it, because all the ones that she's had before, even though that charity one was red, none of it was dark. Like she had the absolute time of her life. Whereas this is kind of bringing in themes that she wasn't sure she wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I think the people she's with are a bit mental.
Ooh.
So yeah, so watch this space. It could get very interesting.
I'm excited to read the next one now.
Yeah.
I haven't started it yet.
No.
But I definitely will be soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the 3 other books that we did read. These were also indie author collabs, and we're just going to quickly run through them. I'm going to tell you what the name is, what the author is, our stars, our chili peppers, and then just give you kind of like maybe a list of tropes and stuff on how much we enjoyed it, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to start with Hateful Vows by C.J. Lucci. I think that's how you say her name. So this is Why Choose, it's Mafia, MMF, step siblings. The main characters are Irina, Alexei, and Dante. And Irina and Alexei are the step siblings.
And Dante is fine.
Yeah.
He's Italian.
Italian mafia don. Yeah, really, really great. So what did you give it stars?
I gave it 4 for stars and I gave it 4.5 for chilies.
So I gave it 4.5 for stars and I gave it 4 for chili peppers.
The chalet.
I actually did really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And the why choose element of this doesn't really come into play until about halfway through. But up until that point, it's about Dante and Irina. It's like arranged marriage as well. And honestly, it is really good. And again, it's something different for us. It was only 313 pages. It was very spicy.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the more spicier mafia books that we've read.
Yeah, so it had 14 spicy chapters in the whole book.
Yep. Considering it's only 313 pages, that's
a lot. Yeah,
that is a lot. And there is MM in this as well, and some of the MM scenes were absolutely delicious. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the next book for this is out on the 29th of January 2026 at the moment. This is book 1 in the Hateful Duet, and book 2 is going to be a stalker mafia romance, more on the lighter side of dark romance, with a strong FMC and a sort of stalker golden retriever MMC, and these are happily ever after books as well. So this one, I will say, book 1 in the Hateful Duet is quite dark. It does go to a dark place, really fucking dark place at some points, to the point where I was like, oh, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. But so if you're a dark romance girly, you will like this very much. So
for sure.
Very quick, very easy, very spicy read.
So the next one we did, Bianchi by Addison Tate. So this one again is Mafia, Sicilian Mafia. So this one is enemies to lovers, he falls first, he likes to taste them both at the same time. So he does end up kidnapping a lady who is his enemy's daughter. And he is bringing her back to his basement so that he can try and draw said enemy out, because he thinks that he's against his whole family. And it turns out that she hasn't actually spoken to her dad for about 10 years. And she's like, well, fat fucking chance of that happening. So now I'm just kind of stuck here. And of course, they end up falling in love.
Yep.
And it was just really good. Like, it was such an easy read.
Yeah,
in terms of Mafia, there wasn't like 8,000 different names that you had to try and learn, and it was nice
easy to follow. Yeah, I think sometimes like Russian Mafia, well, all of the Mafias actually, the names can be a little bit difficult to follow, and all of the different families and the different positions and all the names of the positions.
Yeah,
sometimes it's a little bit like, well, what? I don't even know who this person is anymore. But actually, I agree. This was very easy to follow in that sense. Yeah, so he's supposed to like be keeping her captive in like this kind of basement. And then because he meets her in kind of like an unconventional way where he's like actually trying to unalive her, and then she's sort of like accepting of it, and then he's like, that's not what I expected. Actually, do you know what? You can come with me. Change of plan. I'm going to try and draw your dad out instead, rather than killing you and then having him drawn out that way. But then she's supposed to be kept in his basement. She ends up having these kind of like weird nightmares. She kind of like, I don't know, she kind of withdraws into herself. She goes a little bit, she's not all there at one point, and she's just sort of like sitting under this like freezing cold shower, and they have to like pull her out, and then after that she basically just stays in his bedroom. And they kind of like fall for each other from there, and it does get very spicy. There's a delicious scene where they get it on like a chair in the bedroom, and he like literally, when they're finished, he lifts her up like above him onto this chair and just cleans both of them off of her. And it's great. He's obsessed with cleaning the two of them off of her. So what did you give this stars and chili peppers?
I gave this 4.5 stars and a 3 chalets.
Yes, 4.5 stars and 3 chili peppers.
Yes, lovely.
This was really good as well.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the next one that we did was Straight to Me by Emily Catlow, and when I tell you this was so fucking good,
it was,
I mean it. It was just amazing. So
I'm actually a little bit, I'm gutted that we didn't get the chance to speak about this more fully, because I rated this really high. This was a longer book than the others, probably the longest we read over the last couple of weeks, and it was so fucking good. So I am a little bit sad that we didn't have the time to talk about this fully, but just know that this is definitely worth the read.
So amazing. So this was Motorcycle Club. So we've got Madison, who's 31. She's just got divorced from her husband, and she's going out every weekend with her best mate to try and fill the moment. She's trying to live her youth, let's say. Anyway, so one night she's out on the town getting drunk, and she bumps into VP, aka Dean, in the nightclub, and he is the vice president of the motorcycle club. So he's all like hot and sexy, and they're all like having a moment.
Literally, think of Jax Teller.
Yeah.
So Charlie Hunnam in Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, please. So she's so drunk, she actually gets herself in a bit of trouble outside because she's talking to these lads and they're asking her for the time and she gets all a bit confused and she's just giving them shit. And then VP ends up whacking him out and then takes her over to his motorcycle and says, I'm taking you home, get on the back. So she gets on the back, they go home, and then he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you fancy going on a date? And she's like, yeah. So they go on the date and it's all very nice until they both get arrested because there's some motorcycle shenanigans going on that you later find out in the book. Anyway, so they end up hitting it off. Like, they still sort of talk to each other. She ends up having some issues with her ex. She goes out one night, she gets drunk. VP's then goes and finds her, and they end up having sex in the toilet, and it's really great. And then he's like, look, I've got to go back up north now, but it was lovely to see you. If you're ever up north, just let me know. Little does he know she's actually moving up north, like round the corner from where he is.
She doesn't tell him.
She doesn't tell him. She just moves up north, and then of course she sees him at a stoplight, because that happens,
because obviously,
to everyone.
Yeah.
And then their relationship progresses from there, and their relationship actually gets really, really fucking intense really quickly. And a lot of bad things happen. There's a lot of kidnap, but at the same time, it's fucking amazing, and it was spicy.
It was, yeah. There was an Australia trip. There was police involved. There was like a high-speed motorway chase. Yeah. It was insane. So again, these characters are older as well. Madison's 31. How old is Dean? He's a little bit older, isn't he?
I'm going to say 40.
I think he's about 40-ish.
40th birthday or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I didn't actually write
35?
I didn't write his age down. But yeah, they're both older anyway. And... yeah, it was just really fucking good, this one.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
When it's just like, because it was something different. We've only probably read one Motorcycle Club book, which everyone has read. So for us, this just really hit the mark. And like, even though it was really long, and we don't normally like reading anything that's over 400 pages unless
that
it's a
isn't fantasy.
Yeah. But this just flew by for me. Like, I really got into it. It's amazing.
Every single page was worth it.
Yeah.
It was really good. So what did we give this stars and chili peppers?
I gave it 5 stars and 3.5 shillelaghs.
So I gave this 5 stars and I also gave it 3.5. I think I gave it 3 to 3.5. I know that I initially wrote down 2, but I did my notes quite a while after finishing it.
Yeah.
And I think I had forgotten about a lot of the scenes. So when we did the review for socials, we were talking about the spicy scenes and you were like, oh, there was this one, there was this one, there was this one. I was like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, there was actually quite a lot.
I think it's because it was such a long book and so much happened. So much happened in it that you would forget some of the spicy scenes. I mean, some of them were not forgetful at all. But like, you know, like the odd little slip. You just wouldn't remember. But I mean, fucking hell, it was so good.
Okay. I was going to say, what was your favourite book of the last 2 weeks? But I think we all know what that is.
Yeah. What was yours?
The Secret Club. I think mine also was The Secret Club. Yeah. Followed closely by Tripoli. Now, I know I gave Tripoli 4.5 and I gave Straight to Me, the Motorcycle Club, 5 stars. I just think Tripoli just takes the edge because it was so different to something I've read before, and because it was shorter as well, it was like a little bit of an easier read. I do like it when there is a lot going on, and I like it when something is a little bit like eerie and I'm sort of a bit like, oh, what's happening here? What the fuck is going on? A bit of a mind game, a bit of a mind fuck. I do like that. So I think Tripoli would take second spot for me. Definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But The Secret Club, oh my God.
Fucking hell.
Good Lord. Oh my.
Good Lord.
I think that's it. That's all our books. So what are we going into next? We're going into Daddy. We've actually already read most of our Daddy books, to be fair.
The issue with the Daddy situation is that I don't think we've really heavily enjoyed
the books that we had.
The books that we've read.
Yeah.
So we are going to go through them because it will be a fucking laugh, because some of them were terrible. And one of them, which you're in the middle of reading now.
And I'm still on the fence.
Yeah. Is that we've got a lot to say about that, because fuck me, do they go through some tropes.
Ooh, there is some things in this. There's water sports in this. And this is the first time reading.
The lactation.
Yeah.
During sex. He sucks on her. Yeah. And it's a 37-year age gap as well. So, of course, that hits hard.
Yeah.
With the water sports and the lactation.
She's a single mommy. She's got a baby. So, obviously, there's milkage.
Frothing out of her.
Ooh, why are you going to say that for?
Because that's what they say.
There's just so much happening already. I'm like 50% of the way in. Full disclosure, I actually nearly DNF this. But then I said to you, didn't I? I was like, listen, this is me talking to myself. I was like, listen, just go and get a glass of wine and get out of your head and just try and enjoy it. And I got a glass of wine and I got it out of my head, but I didn't actually start to enjoy it. Yeah. I just accepted it for what it was, and I was like, fuck it. Now it's an experiment. Now it's become research.
Yeah.
So now I've got to finish it now, because I need to read all of the water sports scenes for research purposes and for content purposes.
I actually can't wait to see what you think once you've finished it, for a laugh.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I just stopped making notes, because I was like, well, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing this
now. Of course
now.
We're doing that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Weren't doing that a minute ago, but we're going to do that now that we've got 10 pages left.
Oh, God. So I've read all of the other Daddy books, but I left this one to last because it was the longest one out of all of them. And I genuinely thought this was going to be the best out of them all as well.
So did I. I had really high hopes, only because what's his name's on the cover.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and it was the 37-year age gap. I was hoping it was going to be written really like
angsty.
That's how really I feel angsty about it.
It wasn't.
No.
It was a fast burn. In fact, it was just burn.
Yeah.
It was immediate.
Yeah.
It was like they locked eyes and then it was a fire. There was just no build up. But it's fine. It is what it is. We're here now. We'll chat about it next time. Yeah. So yeah, we've got Daddy. Daddy is the next theme. The last time we did Daddy, I don't know, was it successful? Because half of our videos were shadow banned.
Yeah,
because they were absolute fucking filth.
Yeah, because surely the last time we'd done it, wasn't it Dirty Daddy? Yeah, we had the shrimping. Yeah. We had the shrimping debacle.
Yeah. Social media did not like that one.
No, we did have great ones, because we had One Night Seduction.
Oh, yeah.
Gratify.
Yeah.
We did have some good ones.
Entangled. Oh, yeah, we had some good ones, didn't we? Yeah. Oh.
That's a shame.
Maybe we could, like, if we had time, to add one more in and maybe just try and get one really fucking good one. Because at the minute, I don't really feel like we've got one that's like, I can't wait to talk about that in a good way.
Mountain Daddy?
Yeah, that was good.
We need like a super spicy one.
Yeah.
A super
good spicy one.
One that makes me feel like that.
Yeah. Gives you the feels. Anyway, it's us rambling. Oh, that's it now. So we'll see you next week for the next Zodiac Academy podcast, and then we'll see you the week after for the next wrap up, which will be all things Daddy. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.